Well, Taika Waititi's come out and said he only made Thor Ragnarok for money. Knew nothing about the hero. Wasn't interested in doing the movie. Literally only did it for money. I'm a bit speechless, to be honest. I'm genuinely a bit speechless by all of this. Like, what do you say? What do you say to all of this? Kudos to him for being honest, but holy shit, you shouldn't have done it in the first place if that was your stance. Because you're just ruining characters. Oh, goodness. It's so bizarre. He's very clearly done with Marvel, right? This is him. This is his fuck you tour to Marvel. Excuse the language. But this absolutely is his F you tour to Marvel. He's done. He's completely done with Marvel. You don't say stuff like this unless you're done with Marvel. He's done. He's never coming back. And if he's coming back, oh my god, I would be really surprised. This is insane. Let's take a look, right? He was on the Smartless podcast. And Waititi reflected on joining the MCU and admitted that he only agreed to helm Thor Ragnarok because it meant he'd receive a sizable payday. Literally just in it for the cash. Now, I think it's important to note that I've shortly, previous to this, done a video discussing Taika Waititi and his Star Wars film. And said, you know, this guy jokes around all the time. This is too much to say he's joking. And this is too much of... This is too much of an FU to Marvel to say he's joking. You don't really come back from this. You just don't. So I don't think he's... I think he's being honest. So he goes, you know what? I had no interest in doing one of those films. So why did you then? Why? It wasn't on my plan for my career as an auteur. But I was poor, and I just had a second child. And I thought, you know what? This would be a great opportunity to feed these children. Okay. And you know what? It was a weird career path for him. You know, What We Do in the Shadows, Jojo Rabbit, The Wilder People. All these movies. Which are his movies. Again, as an auteur, his films. Writes them, does whatever he wants. And he is good when he's doing his own thing. But you could tell he wasn't. You could tell he didn't like Thor. You could tell he wasn't bothered. So he goes this. And Thor, let's face it, it was probably the least popular franchise. I never read Thor comics as a kid. That was the comic I'd pick up and be like, ugh. And then I did some research on it. And I read one Thor comic, or 18 pages, or however long they are. He read what... He did some research and he read one comic. Holy shit. Holy shit. So anyway, his research building down to reading a single comic is a little bit surprising. Yep. I just can't believe... I'm so... Yeah. Now this article plays sort of favourites and says, in fairness, plenty of successful comic book movie directors didn't grow up reading comic books. So Waititi isn't saying anything too shocking in that sense. He is in the respect that he's blacklisting himself from Marvel. Like, a lot. This is odd. So the credit for those may go to writers Eric Pearson, Craig Kyle, Christopher L. Yoss. Of course, this is to do with, of course, you know, people who actually wrote the movie. So for Waititi, being offered the chance to helm the movie was a sign Marvel Studios was desperate. I think there was no place left for them to go with that, he said of the threequel. I thought, well, they've called me in. This is really the bottom of the barrel. What? I mean, he's blacklisting himself. That's for sure. I am almost speechless. I am almost speechless. I mean, I'm not, obviously, because I'm still talking. But goodness me. The fact that he's like, look, you know, it wasn't on my plan. I didn't have any interest in doing it. It's just money. I mean, we could see all of that. Why did you bother then? And I wonder how much he was actually paid. Quite a lot, obviously. And this has kind of catapulted his career in some regard, I guess. But I mean, yeah, the thing that makes me go, yeah, he's definitely not exaggerating. He's definitely not joking here. This is such bad publicity for Marvel. When Marvel have been ripped apart in the press with the Variety report, when they've been ripped apart by Forbes revealing all of their financials, when they've been ripped apart by the Marvels being a complete failure, and there's so many directors and actors now coming out and talking against them. You had the lead of The Bear, the actor, come out and be like, yeah, I had an audition for one of those Marvel-y films. And I said, you know, what will this do for me? And the producer said, F you. And he's like, all right, cool, see you later. And he literally says in an interview, I don't understand where or why the pinnacle of an actor's career is to do one of those movies. There's so many directors coming out now going, yeah, I wouldn't work for them. Yeah, no, not interested. And then you've got a director that has worked for them to be like, yeah, they were desperate. They came to me. And I was desperate, so that's why I did it. I needed some cash. I didn't want to do any one of these films. I wasn't interested. My research amounted to reading a comic book. Holy shit. No wonder it was terrible. No wonder all of his films have been terrible for, you know, Marvel. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What do you say? What do you say? No wonder he was more than happy to come out, reply to people and go, yeah, I'll ruin your mythos in a minute, baby. It's like, yep, you did just that, mate. No respect. No respect for the source material. No respect for the fans. Marvel has no respect for the fans because they hired him. And what I mean by that is, like, they clearly knew what they were dealing with when they hired him. And so they didn't respect the fans. No one was interested. So, wow. Honestly, words kind of fail me on this. This is pretty major in terms of the disrespectful element here. I mean, this is pretty bad, guys. What do you think? Because I mean, I'm genuinely kind of speechless. I am at a bit of a loss for what to say. So yeah, I hand it on over to you. What do you think? I mean, it makes sense, doesn't it? I can believe it. He's blacklisted himself, but I can believe it. Kudos to him for actually telling the truth, I guess. Anyway, cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.